Hello and a very good evening. You're watching the news tonight on Rajya Sabha television. Here are the headlines. Home Minister Rajnath Singh inaugurates new headquarters of NIA in New Delhi, asserts that NDA government is taking strong action on terrorism, whose results are showing on the ground. Sonipat court sentences terrorist Abdul Karim Tunda to life imprisonment in the Sonipat twin blast case. The 75-year-old convict engineered explosions that injured 12 people in 1996. Top BJP leaders led by BJP President Amit Shah arrive in Amethi for mega rally. Union Minister Smriti Irani and UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath launch many schemes and projects. And massive wildfires rage across the US state of California. 10 people killed and thousands displaced. State of emergency declared after the blaze destroys lakhs of acres in the famous wine country of the region. Home Minister Rajnath Singh inaugurated the new headquarters of the National Investigating Agency on Tuesday. The multi-storied complex is located at Lodi Road in the national capital. The Home Minister spoke on several issues while addressing the event. Let's take a listen in.
The NDA government is taking strong action on terrorism and the results are showing on the ground. Home Minister Rajnath Singh said this on Tuesday while inaugurating the new headquarters of the National Investigation Agency in New Delhi.
कोई भी सिविलाइज्ड सोसाइटी टेररिज्म को किसी भी सूरत में मान्यता नहीं देगी। किसी भी सिविलाइज्ड सोसाइटी के लिए यह कर्ष है, अभिशाप है। और इतना ही नहीं, मैं मानता हूं कि उस देश के लिए जहां पर यह टेररिज्म अपने पैर फैलाने का काम करता है, वहां के डेवलपमेंट के लिए भी बहुत ही बाधक होता है। उसमें बहुत बड़ा रोड़ा पैदा करता है यह टेररिज्म।
The Home Minister said high-quality fake currency notes act as oxygen to terrorism, which he termed as a curse that no civilized country can accept.
टेररिज्म के सवाल पर यदि हम चर्चा करते हैं तो फेक करेंसी का जो रोल है उसको हम भूल नहीं सकते। फेक करेंसी की टेररिज्म के फलने फूलने में एक अहम उसकी भूमिका है। फेक करेंसी, लेकिन हाई क्वालिटी फेक करेंसी टेररिज्म के लिए मैं यह मानता हूं कि एक ऑक्सीजन का काम करती है। एनआईए ने हाई क्वालिटी फेक करेंसीज को भी रोकने में बहुत ही प्रभावी भूमिका अदा की है। इसके लिए डीजी श्री शरद कुमार और उनके पूरे टीम को मैं पुनः अपनी तरफ से हार्दिक बधाई देता हूं।
He also referred to allegations against BJP President Amit Shah's son Jay Shah, stating that they had no basis and did not merit any investigation. A news portal had reported that a firm owned by Amit Shah's son saw a huge rise in turnover after the BJP came to power in 2014, a charge that has been rejected by the BJP. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, Sonipat District and Sessions Court today sentenced terrorist Abdul Karim Tunda to jail for life term in the 1996 Sonipat twin blast case. Additional District and Sessions Judge Sushil Kumar Garg had pronounced the verdict and also imposed a fine of 1 lakh rupees on Tunda. The court asked him to pay 50,000 rupees each under Section 307, 120B and Section 3 of the Explosive Substances Act. On Monday, the court convicted 75-year-old Tunda in the case in which 12 people were injured in 1996.
अदालत ने अंडर सेक्शन 307, 120 आईपीसी में उम्र कैद और 50,000 रुपये जुर्माना, 3 एक्सप्लोसिव सब्सटेंस एक्ट में उम्र कैद और 50,000 रुपये जुर्माना की सजा घोषित की है। इसको गाजियाबाद जेल में शिफ्ट कर रहे हैं क्योंकि उसने रिक्वेस्ट करी है कि मेरे मुकदमे 8 मुकदमे और पेंडिंग हैं जो डिफरेंट कोर्ट्स ऑफ इंडिया में है और इसलिए मेरे को गाजियाबाद में रखा जाए।
Well, top BJP leaders launched a scathing attack on Congress and Rahul Gandhi from their political bastion Amethi. Addressing a public gathering, BJP leaders including Amit Shah and Smriti Irani slammed Congress for neglecting the constituency. Shah also praised the Prime Minister for launching over 100 projects in Amethi in the last 3 years. 3 days after Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi visited his parliamentary constituency Amethi, top BJP leadership led by BJP President Amit Shah arrived in the city for a mega rally. Union Minister Smriti Irani and UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath were also in town to launch many schemes and projects. Criticizing Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi, Smriti Irani said he had neglected the constituency.
कि राहुल जी भले ही गुजरात में विकास का उपहास करते हों, लेकिन सही मजाक उन्होंने अपने लोकसभा क्षेत्र के लोगों के साथ किया। रिश्तों की दुहाई देते हुए आज तक वोट तो बहुत बटोरे उन्होंने, लेकिन विकास रूपी एक भी कार्य वो जनता के समक्ष कर नहीं पाए। हाँ, आज अगर राहुल जी अपनी कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी में जाने जाते हैं तो फीता काटने वाले नेता के नाम से निश्चित रूप से जाने जाते हैं, लेकिन विकास का काम करने वाले नेता के रूप से भले नहीं जाने जाते हैं।
BJP President Amit Shah also slammed Rahul Gandhi for mocking development in Gujarat. He asked what 3 generations of his family had done for Amethi.
कि आपने 60 साल पर एक परिवार पर भरोसा किया है। एक बार भारतीय जनता पार्टी और नरेंद्र मोदी पर भरोसा करो, कभी पछताना नहीं पड़ेगा।
Amethi has traditionally been a Congress bastion. The 2014 Lok Sabha elections witnessed a high decibel electoral battle between Rahul Gandhi and Smriti Irani. Although Irani lost the election, she reduced Rahul Gandhi's victory margin from around 3.7 lakhs in 2009 to 1.07 lakhs in 2014. In the 2017 UP Assembly election, the BJP won 6 of the 10 Assembly seats, falling under the parliamentary constituencies of Amethi and Raebareli. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television. Meanwhile, on his second visit to poll-bound Gujarat in a month, Rahul Gandhi targeted the organizational structure of the RSS and BJP, alleging that they did not give any importance to women. Rahul Gandhi was addressing students in Vadodara on the second day of his Navsarjan Yatra. In the first leg of the Yatra last month, he had travelled to the Saurashtra region. Rahul also criticized the Modi government for not fulfilling the election promise of providing jobs to the youth.
मोदी जी का फोकस जॉब्स पे नहीं है और आपके भविष्य के लिए, हम सब के भविष्य के लिए देश के फोकस को जॉब्स पे लाना पड़ेगा। क्योंकि चाइना के लड़के लड़कियां जब सेल्फी लें, उन्हें देखें मेड इन इंडिया, मेड इन गुजरात, मेड इन बड़ौदा।
Home Minister Rajnath Singh today inaugurated the first BIMSTEC disaster management exercise in the national capital, cautioning against the possibility of extreme weather events like floods and cyclones in the future due to climate change. Singh called for improved disaster preparedness to reduce the loss of lives.
The first meeting of the Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation was organized in New Delhi on Tuesday. Home Minister Rajnath Singh extended India's support to all member nations in achieving the common goal of reducing losses caused by these disasters. He also stressed that India will stand shoulder to shoulder with other members and explore all possible avenues of collaboration.
Since majority of BIMSTEC nations face the problem of floods on a regular basis, I sincerely believe that we need to join hands to mitigate this problem.
Improved disaster preparedness has been a cornerstone of the BIMSTEC from 1996 to 2015. In this period, BIMSTEC countries lost 3,17,000 lives and over 16 million people lost their homes in these disasters.
The objective now should be to explore how to put in place a common policy framework and strategies, in particular in the areas of sharing information, early warning system, and joint and coordinated action on relief and rehabilitation.
BIMSTEC states are dependent on the Bay of Bengal and include Bangladesh, India, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Bhutan and Nepal. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, Delhi Metro has hiked its fares from today. In a meeting on Monday, the Delhi Metro Rail Corporation Board decided to go ahead with the fare hike as per the recommendations of the Fare Fixation Committee. The DMRC Board said it has no power to change the recommendations of the Fare Fixation Committee, which has proposed the hike. The new fare structure will be 10 rupees for up to 2 kilometers, 20 rupees for 2 to 5 kilometers, 30 rupees for travelling between 5 to 12 kilometers, 40 rupees for 12 to 21 kilometers, 50 rupees for 21 to 32 kilometers, and for journeys beyond 32 kilometers, it would cost 6 rupees. The fare hike of 10 rupees for all travels beyond 5 kilometers comes barely 5 months after the previous hike. Smart card users will continue to get 10% discount on each ride. They will get an additional discount of 10% while travelling during off-peak hours, that is from beginning of services till 8 a.m. between 12 to 5 p.m. and from 9 p.m. to the end of the day's services. There will, however, be no change in the fares for Airport Express line.
मेट्रो किराए जानबूझ के बढ़ाए गए हैं और बढ़ाए इसलिए गए हैं ताकि जनता की जेब से जो पैसा निकले वो प्राइवेट टैक्सी कंपनियों को जा सके। केंद्र सरकार बताए कि उनकी क्या मजबूरी है, मेट्रो के एक एक अकाउंट को जनता के सामने रखे। मुझे पूरा यकीन है कि मेट्रो फायदे में चल रही है, लेकिन ये जो कंपनियां, टैक्सी कंपनियां ये घाटे में चल रही हैं, इनको फायदा पहुंचाने के लिए किया जा रहा है ये सब। दुनिया भर में मॉडल्स हैं किस तरह से वहां की मेट्रोज बिना किराया बढ़ाए, बिना पब्लिक पे किराए का बोझ डाले बहुत अच्छा परफॉर्म कर रही हैं, प्रॉफिट में चल रही हैं। वो इसलिए चल रही हैं क्योंकि वो अपनी प्रॉपर्टीज को लीज पे देने में बेईमानी नहीं कर रही।
Well, India has once again slammed Pakistan for repeatedly raising the Kashmir issue on platforms where it is not part of the agenda. India's response came at the United Nations after Pakistan's permanent representative to the UN, Maliha Lodhi, said that the decolonization agenda of the UN will remain incomplete without resolution of the long-festering dispute of Jammu and Kashmir. Responding to Lodhi's statement, Srinivas Prasad, Minister at the Permanent Mission of India to the UN, said India rejects the efforts of the delegation of Pakistan to bring issues which have never been on the agenda of this committee ever in its history. Prasad said Pakistan has been ploughing a lonely furrow at the UN in trying to raise the Kashmir issue with no other country taking note of it. Well, the army today foiled an infiltration attempt by militants along the line of control in Keran sector of Jammu and Kashmir. Search operations still underway in the area uncovered 2 AK rifles, 4 magazines, 60 rounds, a pistol and other warlike stores. Meanwhile, a soldier was martyred in an encounter with terrorists in the Khag area of Budgamon yesterday. The body of Subedar Rajkumar has been taken to his village in Kangra for last rites. Suspected terrorists attacked a company operating base of the Indian Army at Nyausa in Arunachal Pradesh early on Tuesday. No casualty or damage to property was reported in the attack, which the police suspect was carried out by NSCNK insurgents. A defense spokesperson said a group of men fired 5 to 10 rounds from small firearms and lobbed a grenade at the base at Nyausa in Longding district at around 1:15 a.m. The sentries retaliated, following which the attackers fled. Operations have been launched against the attackers. And in other news now, praising India's tradition of yoga, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu today has said that the discipline has nothing to do with religion. The Vice President was inaugurating the 3rd edition of the 2-day international conference on yoga for wellness in the national capital. He said those who impute religious connotations to this ancient science cause immense harm to humanity. Underscoring the need for more research in this field, the Vice President said that yoga was a science of well-being that needs to be studied and practiced just like any other medical system. The Vice President also said yoga is the mother of all exercises that promote physical fitness, mental well-being and spiritual wellness while taking care of medical bills. At the 2-day conference, experts will deliberate on the scope of yoga in integrated medicine and its efficacy in controlling cancer, depression, cardiovascular diseases, gynecological disorders and pain management.
People who are trying to attribute religious overtones to this great science, they are doing immense harm to the cause of the humanity. Yoga brings you succor. And I don't know what is the equivalent word in English. It brings you santvana, comfort, not the physical, mental.
Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu today released 2 books on surgery in the national capital. He urged people to shun a sedentary lifestyle and make yoga a part of their daily routine to combat modern-day health problems, both physical and mental. Releasing the books titled Minimal Invasive Cancer Atlas, written by Professor C. Palanivelu, and Bariatric Surgery Practice Guide, written by Dr. Praveen Raj, the Vice President underscored yoga as an antidote for modern-day ailments. He also felt that India's experienced pool of skilled doctors who can handle any complicated disorder with surgical intervention is propelling the growth of medical tourism in the country. Praising the efforts of the authors, the Vice President said their books will be useful for budding surgeons.
I said yoga will save you from getting the roga. Roga is a disease. You can escape from becoming a rogi. You may not become a yogi. Everybody cannot become a yogi. But at least you can escape becoming a rogi.
Well, here's a roundup now. Some other news from across the country in Nationwide. New Governor of Assam, Professor Jagdish Mukhi, was sworn in today. He was administered the oath of office by Guwahati High Court Chief Justice Ajit Singh at a function in the Srimanta Sankardeva International Convention Centre. In his previous assignment, Mukhi served as the Lieutenant Governor of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. RJD Chief and former Bihar Deputy Chief Minister Tejaswi Yadav appeared before the Enforcement Directorate today to record his statement in connection with its money laundering probe in the Hotels for Land corruption case. The case dates back to Lalu's tenure as Railways Minister and relates to the award of contract to maintain 2 IRCTC hotels in 2006. Gujarat and Maharashtra have announced a cut in VAT on petrol and diesel. In Gujarat, the price of petrol and diesel will come down by 2.93 rupees and 2.72 rupees, while in Maharashtra by 2 rupees and 1 rupee respectively. Earlier in the month, Centre had reduced excise duty by 2 rupees. The CBI carried out searches in Kolkata, West Bengal's North 24 Parganas and Bihar today in connection with alleged illegal imports in the country in collusion with custom officials. According to sources, the raids took place after an FIR was registered against Deputy Commissioner Navneet Kumar, appraiser Vicky Kumar and a person named Mohammad Naziruddin. Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman today inaugurated the biannual Indian Air Force Commanders Conference at the Air Headquarters in New Delhi. During her address, Sitharaman said that the devolved powers given to the service chiefs should be fully utilized for achieving their capabilities. She also said that the government is committed to fill the gaps which have arisen due to lack of timely decision-making in the last decade. Well, it's time for a short break now, but news and updates will continue on the other side. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
The sacred relics of Buddha were unearthed in Piprava in Uttar Pradesh. Buddhist monks from all over the world visit the National Museum to pay their respects. These charred bone fragments of Buddha are housed in the gold canopy gifted by the royal family of Thailand.
Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha television. Well, Catalan President Carles Puigdemont held a meeting with his cabinet today ahead of his key speech at the Catalan Parliament. His speech comes amid speculations that he may announce a unilateral declaration of independence after Catalonia's October 1st referendum was ruled illegal by the Spanish government. The mayor of Barcelona has urged Puigdemont and Spanish Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy to de-escalate the crisis. Catalan police have been posted outside Parliament in Barcelona, sealing off the grounds to the public as Barcelona residents wait with anxiety for the speech that may bring the region's secessionist crisis to a head. Madrid government has said it would respond immediately to any such unilateral declaration. Meanwhile, the European Commission has reiterated its call for dialogue in Spain to end the crisis in Catalonia. European Commission spokesperson Alexander Winterstein said violence should never be used as a political tool and said the Commission was confident in the capacity of Spanish Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy to manage the situation.
A banda denunciar les pressions, perquè és així, de l'estat espanyol, que intentant fer un mal a nosaltres, el que s'està acabant fent és un mal amb ell mateix, plena confiança perquè l'economia catalana és molt robusta, Nous
avons appelé à tous les acteurs concernés de sortir au plus vite de la confrontation pour revenir au dialogue. La violence, on avait dit, ne peut jamais être un instrument politique. Et nous avons exprimé notre confiance.
Massive wildfires are raging across the state of California, killing at least 10 people and displacing thousands of people. Lakhs of acres have been burnt while thousands of homes and businesses were destroyed across the state. The worst affected is the famous wine country in the region. Governor Jerry Brown has declared a state of emergency even as firefighting and evacuation goes on in the affected areas.
Shades of orange and red burning through the Orange County as multiple wildfires rage across California. The biggest of the fires scorched the state's famous wine country, Napa, Sonoma and Mendocino, with flames ripping through the picturesque landscape of Northern California, killing several people and destroying thousands of homes. The deadly fire charred about 27,000 acres in Napa and Sonoma counties, an area world famous for its vineyards.
That whole ridge over there was just glowing red and headed this way.
How fast would you say the fire moved?
Very fast. I mean, the wind was blowing 40 miles an hour, so it was going that fast, you know what I mean?
Over 20,000 people were evacuated. The wildfires that started on Sunday night spread with explosive speed because of dry conditions and strong winds of up to 50 miles per hour. In Southern California, evacuations are on in affluent Anaheim Hills neighborhood in Orange County, where the blaze erupted along a freeway off-ramp and spread quickly to scorch 5,000 acres in just a few hours.
We currently have over 1,000 firefighters on the ground fighting the fire. In addition, we have 3 night-flying helicopters up in the air making water drops from Los Angeles County Fire Department, the Orange County Fire Authority, and another one from the U.S. Forest Service. Again, we are in unified command. All of the agencies are working together. This is a joint effort.
I mean, this is like apocalyptic, it seems. This is so out of the norm. Like, I'm from Southern California and everything's dry out there and I'm used to fires, but I've never seen anything like this in an urban area.
Hospitals in the affected areas of Napa County and Sonoma were also evacuated hurriedly as fire officials issued red flag warnings. Governor Jerry Brown declared an emergency in Napa, Sonoma and Yuba counties in the north and later included 4 more Northern Californian counties and Orange County in Southern California. U.S. Vice President Mike Pence assured residents of full federal support.
But I want to assure the people of California, on behalf of President Trump and our entire administration, that we will be working very closely with Governor Brown and with California to see you through these challenging times. And I want to say to the people of California and all of those that are in the path of these advancing wildfires that we are with you, we are standing with you.
The massive fires sent smoke as far south as San Francisco, which is about 96 kilometers away. So far this year, around 7,700 wildfires in California burned up to 7,80,000 acres statewide. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, here's a roundup now. Some other news from across the world in Global Buzz. Pakistan's Foreign Minister Khwaja Asif says his country is ready for a joint operation with the US to destroy the Haqqani network if it provides evidence about the presence of safe havens of the dreaded terror outfit in the country. His remarks came after US President Donald Trump in August accused Pakistan of harboring agents of chaos and terror. Japan successfully launched its 4th satellite on Tuesday to increase the precision of the global positioning information system used in smartphones and car navigation systems. The satellite will complement the US GPS version, which has an error margin of about 10 meters, but together with the Japanese system, positioning error will be reduced to only a few centimeters. A student shot dead a police officer at Texas Tech University in Lubbock. The campus was placed on lockdown before the suspect was arrested. Texas Tech police went to check on the welfare of the student and discovered drugs in the campus. The officers took the person to the school's police station, where the student pulled out a gun and shot an officer in the head and fled on foot. A 6.3 magnitude earthquake struck northern Chile on Tuesday. The tremor hit 70 kilometers east of the coastal city of Africa, which is near the border with Peru. The quake struck at a depth of 82 kilometers. According to the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center, no tsunami warning was in effect. The European Union extended sanctions aimed at punishing North Korea for its nuclear and ballistic missile programs, banning the import of textiles from North Korea and limiting sales of crude oil. The European Union said member states will not provide new work authorizations to North Korea to work in their territory. Let's shift focus and bring you up to speed with some sports news in Sports Beat. European champion Spain defeated Niger in the FIFA Under-17 World Cup. Abel Ruiz scored twice, while Cesar Gelabert and Sergio Gomez scored 1 goal each to beat Niger 4-0. It was a must-win game for Spain after losing the opening game of the Group D to Brazil on Saturday. Argentina's Juan Martín del Potro defeated Georgian qualifier Nicolas Basilashvili on Monday to reach the Shanghai Masters second round. Potro defeated his opponent 6-2, 3-6, 6-4 and will face Russia's Andrei Rublev in the next round. In another match, South Korea's Chung Hyun beat world number 13 Roberto Bautista Agut 6-4, 6-3. Iceland qualified for the FIFA World Cup for the first time after beating Kosovo 2-0 on Monday. Everton midfielder Gylfi Sigurdsson and Johan Gudmundsson scored the 2 goals as Iceland became the smallest country to advance to the World Cup finals. It is Iceland's second successive appearance at a major tournament after their shocking win over England in a surprise run to the Euro 2016 quarterfinal. Well, that's it on this newscast. Good night.